Okay. Everything should be working right now. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Okay. Now it should be working. Now we should be A-okay. Perfect. Let's do our going live notification on Discord. Wait, I have Discord open. Why am I trying to type into Discord? Like, type into Windows to open Discord when I have Discord open. Nice, Kit Kats. Kit Kats are, like, really good. You know, I'm kind of messed up in the way of, like, I don't break them off. I just eat them in, like, as a bar. It is so odd, but that's what I do, and I don't know why I do it. Hey, Mochi. How you doing? I forgot my stream title. I gotta look it up. 1 second. All right, there we go. Applying to Nijisanji for the right reasons. Question mark. You get a link of the stream. Hey, Zone. That's the correct way. Single wrapped one, so I have no choice but eat them correctly. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Favorite Kit Kat flavor? You know, honestly, here in Canada, we only have, like, the one flavor. I did, like... The only time I really experienced, like, other flavors is when I ordered the Tokyo box. I want to say their mochi's kind of, like, good. But I would love to experience more flavors of Kit Kats. I really would. Okay, apply, right reasons. Send. Send, and it's done. Okay, it's sent. Perfect. What's your guys' favorite flavor of Kit Kats? I get them in little Asian market here in town. Nice. I'm sorry, I'm going to be drinking like a lot of water today. So, you're going to see my model like look a little bit weird. Water is just super important. Sometimes stores sell manga, also have a few Japanese snacks. So there's a manga. Lewis was telling me about it. A manga factory. Manga factory. Or I think that's what they call it here. I don't know. I don't know what it's actually called. Is it called Manga Factory Vancouver? I don't see it. I don't know why YouTube hid that message. That, like, made no sense as well to me. Oh, it's called Book Warehouse. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's close. The manga factory thing, Lewis, that you were mentioning. I'm not too sure what if they would sell candy as well, Japanese snacks. Yeah, I have to stay hydrated. Senpai needs a P.O. box? Honestly, like, I feel super bad, like, getting stuff from people. I'll be honest, like, the Patreon thing that I've been doing, like, reading over people's apps and whatnot, I already feel super bad for doing, like, for charging people. But I know that the money that is generated from the Patreon gets put back into the community in one way or another, i.e. like avatars, music, so on and so forth. So I don't feel too bad, but I still feel bad. Like, yeah. I'm glad you won that art raffle though, Vesta. That's really good. Oh, CNL Multimedia. Okay. My time is extremely valuable. Hello, Starlight. Yeah, I like. I know, but like, I just enjoy helping people. Except for when I don't. if if I explain that correctly. But yeah. Though I am really happy with my experimenting with Twitter. Rayless. Rayless trying to cancel me again. But no, in all seriousness, my experimentation with Twitter has been going very well. I'm very happy with the results. Using absolutely, like, no hashtags now that my account is, like, after a certain size.
A super chat?
I'm happy.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
really happy with the results. Making progress modeling my own avatar. Also, thank you, Zatham, for the 5. Going to use the skills to make a free 3D assets for the community. That would be so dope. That would be super dope. I gotta really think about it. Like, if we can have a section again. We did have it before where people could put, like, assets they want to give away to the community. The only problem that we had last time is there were some people that were using some stolen assets. I don't want to run into that again, so I gotta, like, figure out a way of getting past that, or like it not being an issue or happening. Twitter has always been confusing for me. People don't like to engage back with you, I've noticed. It depends, though. It depends. So, okay. You know what? We're going to the whiteboard. We're going to the whiteboard. I think the video that Sapphire and I did about a year ago is still very valid. Yeah, I think you're right, Vesa. I think it's better just to keep it in, like, self-promotion. Okay. So you guys are like some people might hate my takes on this because I know they may not be watching now, but they might be watching later. And I'm sorry if I, like, hurt your feelings or people's feelings, but, like, I'm just going to be real with people, and especially VTubers that use Twitter. I feel like people, like, listen to what I say, but they don't listen to what I say. So, like, for example, and the main reason, and what I'm talking about right now is the main reasons why people's Twitters don't work, right? For the most part, why their tweets aren't getting engagement and so on and so forth. They do, like, these hashtags, which hashtags are really good for, like, when your account first starts out. It's a way to, like, engage with an audience and so on and so forth. But their hashtags are always VTuber. VTuber, and we talked about this, like, until the cows come home on, like, why you shouldn't use these hashtags, but they still use them regardless, and it drives me nuts. But they use VTuber, VTuber, and then, like, VTuber Unite or whatever it is, right? And then what they'll do is they will try to, like, how do I say this without, like, targeting specific people? Asking open-ended questions to people in the hashtags, but not having a real lockdown niche, right? So they're literally just they're trying to tweet just to like all the VTubers out there. Like, trust me when I say this. Oh yeah, Uprising. Yeah, VTuber Uprising. Thank you. Um, if you're trying to like tweet to your fellow VTubers using these hashtags, it is literally a waste of time. Realistically, not a lot of fans of VTubers are searching these hashtags to find a VTuber to watch. Like a lot of content creators think that they like that's what fans do. They literally don't do that. Like there will be like people that do that. Like there's always going to be those people. They exist. But people that are like searching for people to watch, don't look through those hashtags to find people to watch. They go to Twitch, they go to YouTube. They'll go through like the channel that they're interested in, whatever game that might be, and then they'll click on that game, and then they'll scroll through until they see like the top VTuber, and they'll click usually because like Twitch still I think for most people, you guys can actually do an experiment and test. Last time I had people test this, it was like 50-50. But like if you guys go to Twitch, you go to a random category, it's usually set from high to low. Some people are getting it set to recommended, which is going to be great, but recommended is usually like people that are 15 to 30 plus. But that's how people are going to find VTubers to watch. It's not through these hashtags. But when you guys are trying to like tweet to like your fellow VTubers, like I said, it's literally a waste of time. They don't care about your opinion on agencies or drama or whatever, right? There's other hashtags for that. But like a lot of you guys just need to niche down and find a category that you would actually be interested in talking to people. And then if you happen to be in that category and there's people like, oh, I really wonder if there's a VTuber in this category, they're going to find you. Right? I'm probably the exception for using this because like my target audience is people that are VTubers because most of them do it wrong. And I found success from using those hashtags, but not using them lately has been more beneficial than it's been beneficial. Like, if we pull up... I don't know if I'm logged in. We'll see. Like, 72, 84, 45, right? No hashtags there. This one got a lot of engagement, like more than I'm normally getting, right? 60 there, but like, oh, this was I totally forgot about the experiment. I still got to do the experiment. I completely forgot about it. I got to do another tweet tomorrow asking for artists. Let's see how many bots actually like reply to that one. But like, look at that, like 7 there. Right? 6 there. Right? Every time I use a hashtag, I get way lower engagement. Way lower engagement. Which is just absolutely fascinating. 22. So it goes up way more when I just don't use them. And I actually put like super... I ask like genuinely good questions or like put out like a genuinely good statement. Like this particular one, what was it, yesterday? There were people engaging with it, like leaving their own opinions, which is good, which I think is what you probably want. But I think I'm going to like start not using hashtags like forever. Unless I change niches, which will never happen on VTuber Senpai. I'll make a brand new Twitter account to do that. But honestly, chat, like you guys got to like find, if you're going to use hashtags, find hashtags that are related to like whatever you're talking about, or or in topics you're actually interested in that you're going to cover forever. My personal opinion. That's where I find this a success. Hey, Sapphire. How you doing? But yes, like I was saying, and apparently Sapphire's ears were burning because I just mentioned them like 30 seconds ago. The video that Sapphire and I did is super valid for people that are brand new to Twitter. And growing a small Twitter. All right, swap this over. There we go. So we'll chat for another couple of minutes. If you guys got questions, please feel free to ask them now. And then what we will do is jump into the Nijisanji discussion, because I'm a leech. I'm gonna leech off this Nijisanji stuff for a little bit. Morning. There's a lot of people. That's another thing I've noticed. There's a lot more people from like the Asia region that watches, which is really, really cool. Indonesia mostly, and Taiwan. You're going to Taiwan next week. Nice. Take lots of pictures. That'll be super cool. I think next Niji audition you'll apply. Well, I'm hoping that like everything that we've been talking about in a lot of these streams really helps you guys. Hey, Frey. And you're very welcome. Honestly, I really hope a lot of you guys do. Even, okay. Okay, some people are going to disagree with me on this one, because a lot of people think it's going to be like a waste of time. But what a lot of people don't know is, even though you're not talking to people in this like audition stuff, you're really nervous filling out the audition form. Like, and respectfully so. You're like, it's a job application, right? So even if you think you have zero chance of getting in, just fill it out. I'd say, like, do the absolute best you can. Still fill it out, because the more you fill it out, I feel, and this is me, my personal opinion. You guys can be like totally disagree. That's totally fine. But I feel like the more you do it, the less nervous you will feel. Right? And what's the worst thing? They say no. That's okay. But at least, you know, the nerves are gone. It's like, oh, well, okay, that application, that audition wasn't really that bad. Right? And then when you do it again for like the second or third time, you're a lot less nervous, right? But you guys, oh my God. So many auditions, like, so many people don't take seriously. Like, please, just like, fill it out like you would if this is like a job you want in real life, because technically it is a job you want in real life. But like, if you were physically like applying with a person literally right there. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, just throw your hat into the race there, Vessa. You might as well. And hey, Muffins. Hello, Kura. How you guys doing? But yeah, today's stream topic, we're going to go, like, this is going to be like a community discussion, right? A lot of you guys, I would love to have your guys' feedback, your guys' thoughts. So I'm going to be looking to you guys as well to answer some of these, right? To give me some of your reasons. I'm going to list some of the reasons that I saw, and I'm hoping that you guys like avoid these. Avoid using these and like think about them a lot more. Maybe I should pull out my audition form too. Because that has that actual question on it. Mostly here to listen to your voice. Thanks. My voice is not that great, but I appreciate it. Yes, please stream. Like, if you guys don't stream, like, start. That's been a lot of my advice to, like, audition forms that I've been reviewing. That, like, they don't stream, they don't edit, they don't have any content whatsoever. Like, start making something. If you guys stream on Discord, stop streaming on Discord, stream on Twitch, stream on YouTube, stream on, like, whatever website you need to stream on. Have evidence that you have been streaming, that you've been putting in the practice. Because Nijisanji won't join your Discord server and they won't try to watch you stream there. Has anyone ever gotten to a corpo that wasn't a streamer before? Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple that weren't streamers. They were, like for example, I believe... was she a streamer before? I know she made a lot of music before. I think maybe Mori? Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Mori? She didn't really do streaming. Like, she does a lot of streaming nowadays. So, like as her IRL self, but... Wait, where's that question? Very little before. Okay, so, like, very little is pretty much, like, almost not at all at that point. YouTube tutorials, videos on editing, I think? Yeah, okay. So, there are people that weren't streamers. And you don't have to be a streamer to get in. I think even... Scarlett mentioned that there were some people that were in the agency that never streamed before. But you have to do something. Right? You have to have something under your belt. Oh, that's what it is. What is your motivation behind wanting to join Nijisanji? That was the question. That was their question. Maury Petra was a clipper, I think, hearing that. Okay. Finding your channel, finishing school has given me the inspiration. Finally start streaming. I'm very happy. That's good, Gibbs. That's very good. Okay. Let's talk about reasons. And again, chat, like, I'm going to... Oh, also, hi, Thornscale. Hello, Elnichi. How you doing? Again, I'm going to be, like, looking for you guys for your answers, your reasons, the reasons why you want to get in. Before I get your guys' reasons, I'm going to show you the bad reasons that I've seen so far. From all the different auditions I've seen. And these are my personal opinions on why they're bad, or that they are bad. So, grain of salt. If you guys disagree, that's totally fine. So, like, the number one thing that I saw, it was honestly, like, money, right? One way or another, a lot of people, also, we're jumping into the topic for Nijisanji right now. Paradox Mint, thank you so much for joining the class. I appreciate that. But a lot of people's number one reason was money. And some people were not even really hiding it, right? Some people actually stated in their forums, One was just like the answer money, like going all Mr. Krabs on it. Um, but like one person actually said to be a millionaire. Now you might, like, if you're really good, you might be able to get to that stage, sure. But like, how does that help out Nijisanji? Like, really, at the end of the day, like, really put some thought into that, please. um, yeah. Another really bad reason that I saw. Wait, I gotta pull up the exact terminology. It's in my mod chat. We actually talked about this on Braylis's stream Wednesday, because my days are blending together now. What did that guy literally say? Oh yeah, I thought it was I don't know, but it was I am not sure. If it's going to sound harsh, if you're not sure why you're applying to the agency, it's going to kind of like contradict to what I said earlier, but then don't apply. Like truthfully, don't apply. Right? Because like you're honestly wasting their time. You're only probably doing this because everybody else is doing it. If you don't have any passion to want to get into this, or you don't have any passion in the agency or anything like that, it's not a good reason. It really isn't. It truthfully isn't. I feel like we really need to stress how terrible I don't know answers are for any question. Yeah, if there is any answers that say I don't know, I'm not sure, just stop, please. Like, just if that has to be one of your answers, just like really reevaluate, why are you doing this? Are you putting this answer? And this might be the case where the person applying might have been like super nervous, and that's okay. Like, if you're nervous and you can't really think of an answer, don't submit it right away. Take some time. Call up some friends. Maybe they can, because your friends will typically know you better than others, obviously. So they can maybe help you find that reasoning. That is a possibility, but definitely, like, just don't submit it right away. Take some time, think about it. Right? I saw another answer. I want to date X talent. Now, X means for like somebody in Nijisanji. I'm not going to put that person's name out, but this was like a genuine answer that somebody gave. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this. I really didn't think I needed to say this. Nijisanji, from what I feel, isn't a dating. It's not a dating site. So, no. Now, this person could have put in like a troll. I don't know. It's possible, but it's not a way to like get into it. And obviously, like, their answer was a very long-winded answer, but they snuck that into the answer as well. Don't do it. And yes, realist, it actually happened. I'm sorry, but No, they did. I wish it wasn't true, but we do stray further from God every day. It's horrible. Another thing that I've noticed for this one, and this is pretty much the last one for like bad reasons, and I would love for you guys to after this point to please feel free to give me your good reasons on why you want to join Nijisanji, especially for the people that applied. But people gave very long answers on why this would help them change their life and make it better, which isn't typically like a bad thing, not necessarily, but it is, because like it would help them out financially, but also get them out of like a really bad spot. If you have that reasoning, that's totally okay, but I wouldn't put that on the audition form, right? Because in a way, you're kind of like sort of guilt tripping them, or guilt tripping the reader that's reading the audition form. You're trying to like make them feel bad for you, or maybe you're not actually doing that, and like you don't know you're doing this. But I would definitely not like say this is a thing for you to get out of a situation. Now, I would love to see your guys' good reasons. And Rayless, if you have any other like bad reasons, feel free to like, if you want to hop on the stream, entirely up to you. It's an open invitation. Since I was on your stream on Wednesday, I'll open up the invite to you. Since you've gone through many forms. Call me right now. Okay, there we go. Rayless, you better have your PNG ready. And now I'm gonna have to change the title. I feel like a boomer. I gotta like figure out how to call people.
You are a boomer. It's okay.
All right. Can we hear Rayless fine? Can you talk?
Hello. Hello, chat. How are you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. There we go.
All right. Let's see. This is there you go. Oh, okay. Well, this is the image.
Okay.
Screw it, I'm sticking with it.
Okay, that's fine.
You'll see it as soon as it pops on screen.
Okay. As long as it's not like a big boba Rayless, I think we're gonna be okay.
There was actually a real danger of that because I was trolling someone else on a different stream.
Oh,
so I had to double check real fast.
What is this?
Don't worry about it. It's a great picture.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, okay. We'll do that. All right. Rayless is on, everybody. Here we go. Say hello to Rayless. Can't hear Rayless. He has a meow to calibrate it. All right. I'll turn up Rayless a little bit. How about now?
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Okay. That should be good now. We should be like the same levels. So what were some of your bad reasons that you saw?
So we saw a ton of them, like the ones, cause you know, I've been watching the stream.
Yeah.
The ones you mentioned are definitely the most common. That's I refuse to believe that dating one.
Oh yeah, no, that actually happened.
No. I refuse to believe a real person put that.
Mm-hmm.
For my own sanity, I need to refuse that was a thing.
Fair enough. For your own sanity, I understand.
But being an icon of something was probably the most common one I saw.
Right.
Like they want to champion a cause.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's usually something very political. Like extremely political. Maybe that just no. Bad. Don't do that.
Yeah. Championing for like a particular cause, like which could be like noble, but like a lot of people don't understand or realize that Nijisanji is like trying to appeal to the masses, not to like a few, right? They rather get their content thrown to absolutely everybody instead of like hundreds of or thousands of people. And when you
Yeah.
like champion a certain cause or you try to go into like the political sphere, you're alienating other people that may or may not believe in that cause or that political side. So yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, Taka. You're a VTuber for an agency, not an activist. You can't
Mm-hmm.
divide your audience. It is bad for business.
It is just straight up bad for business. Like I don't know. It was just surprising to me the common,
Yeah.
like the commonness of that answer.
Yeah.
The other one that would think is like the worst answer
Mm-hmm.
that comes from the least terrible place is that they want to use Nijisanji to learn how to be a VTuber.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
that is something I've seen, and it confuses me that you're not applying to be taught. If you want that, you apply to their virtual talent agency.
Yeah. That was another one I did see a decent amount of as well. Learning how to be a VTuber, how to be a content creator, how to edit, how to sing. Like, if you're applying to the agency, sure, you can learn some of these skills as you go along, but a lot of this should be basic.
Like you're not applying. The people who get accepted to Niji aren't the people who need to learn a lot
Yeah.
to be great content creators. These are people who are already good content creators, and like you're always going to learn stuff from just being in there.
Mm-hmm.
But like you are not being, they are not looking to teach you how to do things. They need you to be able to learn by yourself and have already learned all those skills. So those are probably the two worst reasons or two bad reasons I've seen. Like the icons, and it's centered in a good idea, but it's just not good for business. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
But the rest are just, all of these just sound like work to try and make you work for them. And the company doesn't want to put in more work than they have to.
Yeah, well, one thing that a lot of people don't understand is like if they got to put a lot of work into you, that means that they're investing, and it's not just time that what they're investing; it's money that they're investing as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I saw that somebody did mention, and thankfully it was only one person that mentioned it, but to help upgrade their PC because they have like a low end PC right now. They're hoping that like if they become a Nijisanji talent, that their PC would be upgraded and get better, which would help their streams and the corp out as well. Like it was a very long-winded answer, but like that's basically that's what I got from it, and this is what I'm condensing it to. Basically, to help them upgrade their PC,
It's
which isn't the case.
Unfortunate that like I can understand why you would think that that's something that you could do,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not. Nijisanji is going to invest in you. It's in their best interest to invest in you, but that is not the way that they're going to want to spend their money on you. They'd rather spend that money like helping you make cool merch or, other things that are come back to make them money. And the sad reality is there's just so many people that are applying that actually have good setups. Like, why would they add that extra cost onto themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. It's if you guys are going to be like, and we talked about this on your stream, I believe. My brain was mush after that, so I'm trying to remember if it was actually on your stream or if it was in my head. But people that like are just using their phones and applying to Niji, not having a PC, like.
No, that's...
We gotta have the bare equipment. We have to have it. It is a must. Right?
Yeah.
If your computer is a potato, like at the very bare minimum, if you could run VTube Studio at the same time and maybe like a first person shooter on low graphics, that could be okay, right?
Yeah.
But if it's just a cell phone, it's not gonna happen.
I wish that that was a possibility, because like phones are awesome, but the tech for VTubing on a phone kind of still sucks.
It does. It has a
So,
long way to go. Like Virtue came out what, like 4 or 5 months ago, and they're the only ones that have like native hand tracking built into absolutely everything, where you could actually import a 3D model as well. And that's like, no offense to Virtue, but that's still buggies too. Like it's not as smooth as it could be.
yeah. It you just have to have a computer that can handle just chatting streams. Like that's the bare minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. At the very minimum, just chatting. Curious
like,
about the
not
whole PC thing for
stuttering.
JP Talon's PC. Expectations in Japan might be different. Um,
Well, okay, when we say PC, I want to clarify that. We don't mean desktop.
yeah,
We mean laptop, thing that can do desktop streaming.
yeah. Laptops included. Yes.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be an actual desktop, but you need to be able to stream from something that is not vertical format phone.
Yeah.
That's what we mean by PC. Is you can do it with a laptop. People have done it with a laptop. I think even Scarlett does it with a laptop.
Wait.
Or does
No, there's
does
a
she
desktop.
have a desktop?
No, it's a desktop.
Okay. But
Because
there's
I'm
a couple
triggered
people
over
in
that.
Niji who have streamed with laptops. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, you can have a laptop. It just, you need something that can actually do, actual, 1080. Well, not even a 1080, but like at least 720p streaming, and be able to run the VTubing software to use the model.
Yeah, I think next Niji Audition form, they need to really add laptop slash PC, because a lot of there's too many people that have left me comments saying, "Is laptop okay?" Well, yeah, like most companies just use that interchangeably, but I think Niji, for their own sanity, needs to just put that slash laptop on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mori did state that she was streaming on the floor with her gaming PC, 3 monitors and keyboard and so on and so forth. I remember talking about that. So you guys can, like, yeah, definitely figure that stuff out as you go if you really need to.
Yeah.
Any good reasons that you saw?
A lot of the good reasons were, or at least that I would consider good,
Okay.
to like work for a company, would be like, the standard, like, you're bringing value to them. I think the best reason is like, you want to expand the VTubing sphere, because that's something that helps you and helps them. Like,
Yeah.
it brings the niche. I mean, VTubing is still a very niche audience in the grand
is.
scheme of things.
It is.
So like, expanding the sphere is beneficial for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best reasons.
Yeah.
But I think, to generalize good reasons, is anything that helps Nijisanji expand
Mhm.
is a good reason. And there's a lot of ways that you can flavor that, but in my mind, that's the best reasons.
Yeah, I think so too. I really do. What a lot of people, I can't say a lot. There are some audition forms that I saw that people mostly put in, and I'm actually going to put this in a bad reason. But they wanted to collab with fellow talent, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty bad reason.
Like, and so some of you guys in the audience is going to be like really confused about that, but like, the thing is, if you're always sharing the same audience within the same core, you're not growing. Believe it or not, you're actually losing over a period of time if you guys don't expand out and try to get new viewers into your live streams. That's the only way a corp is going to ever survive and grow, is if you try to expand in other niches and genres and so on and so forth to pull in a fresh audience. If you just want to collab with your fellow gen mates for more like subscribers or more viewers and so on and so forth, it's not going to just work out. And yeah, collabs are going to be expected for you to do regardless, more than likely, assuming your PC is not that much of a potato.
The thing about collaborations, and this is probably not a take that I think as many people share, is collaborations are really good at cross-pollinating viewers.
Yes.
They're really not good at growing a new audience.
Yeah.
Now, like, I can hear someone mentioning that there's a bunch of, groups on YouTube and Twitch that the whole way they grow is because they collab a lot. Yes, they do collab a lot, but they have to grow their individual audiences to be able to share them with the people they collaborate with.
Yeah.
And like, also, I'm just going to throw this out there. You have a very different perception of someone that you might want to collaborate with once you've actually collaborated with them once. Like,
that's true.
Like, working with someone who you put on a pedestal. I mean, there's a reason why the phrase "don't meet your heroes" is that's a very real thing, because like, it's gonna be different. It's not gonna be what you expect.
Yeah.
They're gonna be focused on doing their own thing. You're gonna be focused on doing your own thing. And yeah, you might get to collaborate with them, relatively often. But, it's just not, it's not going to be this just friendly exchange. You're going to be coworkers.
You're going to be forced to work with each other regardless, if you like each other or not, as well.
Yeah.
You may hate each other, but you're going to have to pretend that you love each other.
Like, even if it's someone you meet, or that you want to collaborate with once, it's just, the problem is it's not going to be this special moment that you think it's going to be. No. Like, it might be that way for like the first hour of the collaboration, but then you realize, oh wait, we're just going to be doing this. Like, this is now just a thing, a portion of your life. It shouldn't be your primary motivation to just be able to collaborate with them. Because that, I don't know, to me, that really just says that you're focusing more on about you enjoy the content they're making instead of thinking about what you should be making. That's kind of what that mentality means to me.
Yeah, I kind of see it as well as like people are trying to be like, oh, well, I want to be like the next XYZ streamer or VTuber, right? And I want to collaborate with them so I could get to their level. I'm sorry, when you guys are joining an agency, you are that next XYZ person. You got to create your own level. You want people to like be aspired to be just like you. So if you're in the agency, you can't like be aspired to be like somebody else that's also in the same agency as you. No, you got to do better. Yeah, collabs are hard work.
Yeah, you just really got to focus on what you're going to be doing, because that's collabs. I feel like in Niji are extremely easy compared to literally every other time when you're an indie VTuber, because it's going to be expected of you at that point. But like I said, you got to focus on what you're going to be doing for them. So, that as a primary motivation, it's a pretty weak one, at least in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. All right, so we need more goods because we got so many bads. So many bads. So chat, we're gonna have to rely on you guys too.
Well, the problem is, I think there's not a whole lot of like really good reasons to join or like to list as your motivation, because it's hard to think of like a lot of the things are very personal to you,
Yes.
which you can kind of keep that to yourself.
For
You
the
know,
most
it's
part, you
like
should.
why it's a good reason for you.
Yeah.
But for good reasons for Niji, it has to be all about them.
Yeah. And that's one thing I noticed a lot on audition forums. People weren't talking about how they were going to benefit Niji, especially like that particular question. How was it exactly? Your motivation behind wanting to join Nijisanji. It wasn't like to help grow the corp. It was more it was always self-centered to like help grow themselves.
Yeah.
And
Would you
you have
enjoy?
to think about the
Oh,
corp.
that's actually a really good question
Hmm.
from your chat.
What is it?
Would you say you enjoy the sense of community you see in the company be a good reason? Okay.
Hmm.
How much do I? Just screw it. I'm on your stream. I don't have to care. But
Burn it to the
I
ground.
burn it to the ground. Exactly. I think that there is a very false perception a lot of the time where you can be friendly. Now, tell me if you feel this way. I feel like you can be friendly and act like you're having a really great time on
Yep.
any collab
Mhm.
because you know it's only going to be a few hours. And I'm sure that like a lot of them are good friends, like in actuality, because I feel like you kind of just learn to love everyone, even if you didn't originally.
Yeah.
But like, there is a perceived culture to Niji Sanji that is probably a little bit different than how the individual streamers actually feel.
Mhm.
And so, again, it's not the worst. I don't think it's necessarily a terrible motivation because the the culture is there, and if you want to play into that perception of the culture, then that's fine.
Right.
I would just always have in the back of your head when if like that's your primary reason to be thinking of like again, it's going to be a very different environment off stream than it is on stream, and that could be a lot better than you think, and it could be a lot worse than you think. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like any workplace ever. Like in front of the customers, you're all on the same team.
Exactly.
Behind the scenes, who knows?
Yeah, I saw that a lot actually, and I've had probably over 3, 4 people mention it to me that they want to really join because it seems like Niji Sanji has like a really good work environment that the management cares about them. Like what's perceived publicly is definitely not what might be happening. Like it totally could be. We don't know. We have no idea, right? But it
Right.
might be completely opposite in the background. You have no clue. And if your motivation to join Nijisanji is like, oh, because the company looks like they treat their talents really well, how do you know? You're going by like what they publicly show. It's like actually it's pretty much the same parallel as Hollywood actors, right? Where they have a public facade of being super nice, super cool. They
Or
look
like
like
this
they
director
would.
was really great to work with, and then 10 years down the line,
Yeah,
something terrible happens. Like, no, this person absolutely sucked.
exactly. It turns out they had an island and did horrible things on it. Like you just you really don't know what things are actually like until you get in there. And if your like motivation is to join a company that you have nothing like no knowledge about, like actual knowledge about, I
It's
don't know.
not
I
the
think it's
type
a little
of
bit
thing
alarming.
that it's not the type of thing that talents are really supposed to talk about or
Well, they
allowed to talk
can't.
about.
They can't,
If
right?
if there was something bad going on behind the scenes, like I don't feel that there's like anything bad with Niji Sanji.
No, I
But
don't think
again,
there
you know, it's
is.
just like I from again, it's all public perspective. I think they're great.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's just I'm always wary if the work culture is what you're looking for. Just, you know, be prepared for maybe a little culture shock, right?
Yeah, that actually
Everything said here is also speculation. Yeah, it is.
um one thing that people don't realize as well, and this is like what a lot of people I encourage you guys to watch these documentaries so you know I'm not like making this up. But work culture in other countries, like in Japan, is much different than here in North America, right? Here in North America, we wake up at 8, we go home at 4 or 5, right? In other countries, sometimes it can be expected of you to like just stay and work overtime and continue working. And I don't think agencies are going to be much different than that as well, right? Because they're going to have that work culture ingrained in them, and they're going to try to
And
pass
if
that
you
on to you as well.
if you're not prepared to do the same level as literally everyone else, that's also not great for you.
Yeah, like I tell people, like expect to work minimum 40 hours a week. Realistically, it's probably going to be minimum 60, and realistically, it's going to be
Yeah.
over that. Like at the end of the
It's
day, it's going to be a phenomenal amount of work.
Yep, it's gonna be the best worst thing you ever do.
Well, that's the thing. Like I've noticed that a lot of the talents in other agencies, even, and I don't remember if I've seen it in Niji yet, but they're always talking about how tired they are. Like if it was
Every member ever
yeah,
says that.
like if it was that simple, you think they'd be tired all the time? You like let's be honest here. It's not,
Yeah,
right? And
I can't actually think of any talent who has not
mentioned it.
mentioned it
Yeah.
multiple times. Even the new people are like have already mentioned that like it's tiring.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, and for the people that on your audition forms that you say you still want to work your part-time job or college and so on and so forth, you're probably not going to be able to do that. Like let's be very honest here. Like it's not going to be realistic because there is going to be so much work. Like Realist and I talked about this on his live stream. We work full-time jobs and we come home to work a full-time job. Like
yeah. It's
like I've made probably 4 or 5 shorts. They're never going to see the light of day. I scrapped them, but like I still did work. So you're going to be doing a lot of stuff. And you might not
school, I thought. We're not saying it's impossible.
Yeah.
But like for a lot of people, it's I would be shocked if Petra is taking as many courses as she was when she started Nijisanji versus how many she's taking now.
Yeah. And the thing is too, would their grades be better if they weren't in Nijisanji? Like we don't like sure they might be in school, but is the appropriate amount of focus going into the work?
It's just I feel like with working with Nijisanji and doing anything else, something has got to give. And in Petra's case, she doesn't stream as often.
Right.
So, there's always something that gives. But just from everything we've seen about the Nijisanji livers is they're just constantly working.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Again, that if you're into that grind, that's not necessarily a deterrent for you. Like there's plenty of people who want to be on that grind. But like if you're not, then it's yeah. it's gonna be a little bit of a shock.
Yeah, I'm gonna put down because I haven't seen this yet, but better work hours. Or I don't think I've seen this yet. At least from what I remember. to coincide with what we just talked about.
Doesn't Petra also do study streams? I know she's in the past done homework on stream.
Yeah, so if you're doing homework on stream, then you really don't have time to do anything else.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best example of like how much time you have to devote to this. If you can make a stream out of doing homework.
Yeah.
Like that's actually that's the best metaphor I can think of. You need to stream, but you also really need to study.
Petra does a lot, streams a lot, study streams a lot. So yeah, if Petra's doing it a lot, then yeah, that should give you guys an idea of like how much work has to go into this.
Yeah.
Now you could be passionate about VTubing work and put your hobby time entirely into that work, but it's going to affect things. Yes.
Whenever your hobby becomes your line of work, something changes.
Remember when VTubing for you was a hobby? I remember. When this started out as a hobby. Haha, fun thing. And it's like, I better get this video done like now because it has to be out like for tomorrow or whatever.
I actually had that exact experience today. I was like, I have a deadline to meet. I need to get this out right now.
Yeah, I had so many videos that I was wanting to film and do and whatnot, and I was looking at audition forms all week. I haven't had the time.
I know the feel. I definitely know.
I'm committed to this hobby. I don't want to be like these dudes. Yeah, well,
that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's completely valid. Oh gosh.
You're not streaming as much as you like because commissions. Honestly, a lot of those commissions you should probably just do like live. It is literally like free content potentially for you. And some people actually love watching that. Like, I believe you were mentioning that. Wait, was it you or was I dreaming this? Oh my God. Two worlds are colliding. Something about sculpt streamers. Somebody sculpting on stream? Was that
that
you?
was Aya.
That was Aya?
Was sculpting on stream. Last week? This week?
I don't remember.
Sometime?
My days are blending.
I know she did it. I just don't remember if it was this week or last week. Probably
somebody did something. It involves sculpting, but like those are like things you guys could do on streams for your commissions and so on and so forth. Being an indie VTuber would be more beneficial than being a Nijisanji.
It entirely depends on what you're getting into it for.
Like, okay.
I think it's just it's indie versus corporate is such a weird conversation.
Okay. I'm in the opinion, I don't know if you're going to agree with this or not. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. If you have what it takes to get into Nijisanji, then you have what it takes to be a successful VTuber on your own.
Yeah.
Right? Nijisanji may give you almost an immediate audience. But if you're willing to put in the time, the effort, and the hours, I think you could get to that point as well. And how do I put this? I'm not saying like the Nijisanji talent hasn't earned their viewers. They absolutely 1,000,000% have and did and does. But you're fighting for every single viewer that's coming to your stream at the end of the day. And you're doing everything absolutely you need to and can to keep them there.
Yeah.
So
that's what I said. I completely agree with that statement, but I also see reasons why people would want to stop being indie and go Corpo.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's definitely a different type of grind. You're not like your workload's just completely different because as an indie you have to do everything.
Right.
But as a corpo, you're more like a targeted laser beam. You know exactly what your purpose is, and you can focus all your efforts on that. So it's in my opinion, it's just a different type of work.
That's another thing. So I saw a lot of people thinking that if they apply to Nijisanji, they get more freedom to do things, which I think is complete opposite. Paradox actually just mentioned that in the opposite way, but like
no, she said perks of indie is freedom.
Yeah. No, I'm like I've seen people mention that they get more freedom if they were part of the Corp.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
No. You kidding me?
Yeah.
No.
Which
No, 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 no.
Well, and the reason why I think people are getting that idea is because they have a romanticized view of corpse, right? Because they see it as the best of the best of the best.
True, and I guess like they could think of like, oh, I'll have a big enough number, I can do whatever I want.
Exactly.
No, 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 no. It could be from the perspective of freedom to work on things full time and focusing on content. Yeah, that's true.
Rayless thick.
I'm
yeah, you
I'm
kind of are.
thick
Yeah.
on your stream.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see it now. I gotta make sure I censor this.
But yeah, I could see them thinking about freedom from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you think about it from a content perspective, you're
definitely going to be locked down.
Yeah, you're going to be locked down more. So, and also with that freedom comes the lack of freedom in necessarily some collabs.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna call it Mista again, just because Mista does not play Valorant. He has no desire to play Valorant. The only reason why he played Valorant is because it was a Noctix versus Luxium collab.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And like that's stuff you're just gonna have to do.
Yeah.
You know. So there's definitely not more freedom. But you know, some people thrive under that difference, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like some people like being just much more focused and having a lot of rules that they can follow, and others find that suffocating. Mista said a lot of stuff about content creation, Ayuki. He said a lot of stuff.
And also, if Rayless also has a special power, if he says people's names 3 times, they show up. So keep mentioning people.
No, that always seems to work on very specific Nijisanji members.
Okay.
And usually when I'm cosplaying them on stream, so you know.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that could work. That could work.
We're not doing that today.
What about having a built-in group of creatives to bounce ideas off?
I mean, yeah, that's
forming your own group is what you guys should probably start doing. Like,
I mean, but you can do that without being in a corporation.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, you guys should probably just like form your own little groups, and join my Discord to find people to form groups by making friends, or making friends and chilling with them and so on and so forth. You know, self-plug.
I mean, if you guys don't think that VTuber Senpai and I bounce ideas off each other, like we do that all the time.
Yeah, we're typing to each other. We're in Discord calls more like often nowadays too. Like, I think the other day I gave you an idea for like a cool little thing that you could do, and we help each other out, right? You guys could totally do that as well and help each other out and help each other grow. You don't need to be in a corp to do that. Like, corps will obviously get you so far, but you need to get yourself to a certain point before they consider you.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not a bad reason, again. Because, like, I mean, if you're all part of the same corporation, you are all quite literally on the same team.
Yeah.
You know? Like, especially from management's perspective, it's kind of the, what is it? A rising tide raises all ships kind of a deal.
Yes.
So, like,
you have to prop each other up. It's not the worst
reason. You have to prop each other up, but I mean, like I said, you can also just find people that you actually like hanging out with to do that too. Which I know I said something I shouldn't say about VTuber. You have to be social, but
VTubers are social. What?
No, they're not.
VTubers aren't social unless they can put in hashtag VTuber. Sorry, I'm taking shots at some of you guys, but it's true.
It's true. I don't have to apologize for taking shots.
No,
not
because you're
my
on my
stream.
stream. Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Exactly. I have speaking of free, I have so much more freedom when I'm not on my own stream.
Yeah. You get to pick your nose. You get to do whatever you want. It's great.
I mean, I get to be thick, and
There
it's
we
great.
go. There we go. It's 3 a.m. Have a good night. Thank you so much for chilling. I really appreciate it. Now I gotta like adjust. There we go. I'm nicely adjusted. Um, yeah, a lot of your guys' good reasons is probably best you guys keep to yourselves for sure. But if you guys got bad reasons that you can come up with, please like feel free to like shoot them at us, and we would love to talk about it. I hate being the first to DM peeps, but if I don't, I wouldn't have amazing collabs and group projects / fan art. Yeah, like you guys got to work on there is a lot of people that are also antisocial that are applying. I've noticed. Oh, maybe not a lot, but there's a decent amount of people that are very antisocial. Like they mark it down in their audition forms. And if you're like super introverted, you might struggle. Like a decent amount. So, you might need to like work on that. Bad
How
reason
about
because sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I saw how about wanting to find a sense of belonging? That okay.
Ooh. Ooh, he's fired up.
All right. So here is my not so controversial take, I don't think.
Okay.
Content creators are egotistical.
We are.
I don't think that's really in contention. If you're joining a group of self-serving people to find a place of belonging, that kind of sounds like you're going to have a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not because they're going to be actively ignoring you. It's like you have to have some sort of ego to want to be in that kind of a spotlight.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of an ego, you tend to focus on yourself, whether you're thinking about other people or not.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of environment, you can absolutely be friends with them and hang out with them and still like, you can still have a good group environment, but everyone is going to be focused on themselves.
Yes.
That is my personal take to that question. Like, joining because you want to be part of a team working towards a common goal is fine.
Yeah.
In that sense, like belonging is okay.
Yeah.
But you can't join it expecting that people are going to be as invested in you as you would probably want.
Yeah.
Because if for no other reason, they're going to be freaking out and being super nervous and like a bundle of nerves themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I meant your later take. Okay, yeah, that's fine. If you want to join a team to make Nijisanji great, that's a fine reason.
Yeah.
In fact, that's on
probably
the good reason list.
Yeah. I think that is on the good reason list. Yeah, we'll toss into bringing value to Niji. we'll work it in there. But yeah, no, like the latter is definitely like the much better. Like that's another thing a lot of people I think really don't realize is when you are a part of the court, when you're not collabing, you're mostly going to be working by yourself. Is there a Discord where people hang out and chill? More than likely, probably there is, but you're going to be doing a lot of work by yourself. You're going to be by yourself a decent amount. So if you're joining for like a sense of belonging, remember, you're probably going to be by yourself for a bit. And the only people that are really going to probably keep you company is when you go live and talk chat.
It's probably why so many of them go live so often.
that could be it. Yeah, like let's be honest, right? Like if you really can't communicate with your fellow colleagues because they're doing their own stuff, right? They got to worry about their thumbnails, they got to worry about their streams, they got to worry about their schedules. So they don't have really much time to just chill with you at the end of the day. For the most part, I highly doubt they do. So you're going to be by yourself.
Indie VTubers are not invested in each other because we're in it for ourselves. But Niji is a company that wants to make a profit, so they have to be invested in each other. I actually don't think that that's a true statement. Because
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either because, and I don't think Nijisanji agrees with that either. And
Like,
I don't want to get like too controversial with this take, but look at all the resources Luxium gets versus everyone else.
Yeah.
Like Nijisanji is definitely a team and they're all trying to build each other up. But like if you're the breadwinner, you get more stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like it's
like so like let's be honest here. Nijisanji does want to make money. That's every corporation's goal, right?
right.
But you will provide more towards the talents that are more successful. I think
so they just said each gen member is invested in each gen member. I think that's relatively true.
Yeah.
But so actually I think there's a great way of thinking about this from both sides, right? If you're the worst one out of your generation, like so you debuted, you're easily the runt of the group. You are not doing the best.
And there's always going to be a run.
You're going to be panicking so hard to try and dig yourself out of that grave. Whether like you'll still be wildly successful compared to like basically every other indie VTuber out there, but you're going to be feeling that pressure of you're the worst of your generation, and like your gen mates will try and help, but maybe this is just my own personal way about how I think of like content creation is really only you can dig yourself out.
Yes.
And like they can offer suggestions, they can offer advice, but I mean, you're talking to two people who have been actively trying to help people for 2+ years.
Yeah.
And
can't believe it's
watching them not be able to do the things that we've given their advice. Because like other people can't do what you need to get done.
Yeah.
Which is what boils it down to. Like they can be emotional support, but
that's all they can do.
If that's all you needed, I would love to be in your shoes. Because if all I needed was emotional support, I'd be ecstatic. But if
all we needed was emotional support, we'd be at 100,000 subs right now.
Yeah.
Right? Realistically. Like, for me, though, one thing I've noticed about indie VTubers is they're too invested with each other. Like, they're always trying to, like, show up to each other's collab, or, not each other's collab, sorry. Well, yeah, that too. But to each other's streams, or in a Discord call with them, talking about, like, ways to grow, and this and that and everything else. I think indie VTubers spend too much time, way too much time, investing into each other. They need to be more selfish and focusing on themselves.
Daisuke brought up a great point that kind of goes in with this. So he said, if I'm the boss of a company and sees my talent not doing well, wouldn't it be in my best interest to help them out the best I can? Yes, absolutely. It is in their best interest to help them out.
Well, that's a yes and no, though.
There's
a flip
There's
side.
also the problem of like, okay, let's say I'm going to pick an arbitrary number here. I have 10 units of support I can give to my talents.
Yeah.
I have one talent who is a little bit under the bar, and I have another one who is way over the bar.
Yeah.
Now, you as a support have a limited amount of time that you can give. Unfortunately, the reality is the person who's failing will get some support, but a lot of the resources are going to go to the biggest winner.
Yes.
That's like the unfortunate reality of corporate. like you will get some help, but it isn't in the company's best interest to spend more resources than necessary to dig you out of the hole
Yeah.
than it is to support the person who's getting 5 times your viewership.
And like another thing for you guys to think about, because I see this in the corporate field as well, it might be more beneficial to let that person fail, cut them, and replace them with somebody in a newer generation that is more productive and can do more.
That is the scary but also true reality.
Yeah. Because like, sure, I could keep dumping resources into somebody that's not doing as good as they should be, or they could be, right? And of course, you're going to invest a little bit here and there, but it's easier just to fire, graduate, or get a replacement, or more than likely,
let them tread water.
Let them just sit there and continue doing it, because at the end of the day, they're still bringing in something, but you're still relying more on the newer talent to come in and perform.
Yeah, so Danny, that's kind of what we're talking about. Is like Nijisanji's not going to kick you out,
no,
because they don't need to. Why would they? But again, now keep in mind, I do want to put the preference out there. We are talking like we are the evil corporate overlords right now. This is like, yeah, we are playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah,
I want to be very clear about that.
Very extreme amount.
Just want to put that disclaimer here. Like I am intentionally trying to think about these things from the worst possible standpoint. But these are all potentially things that can happen and have happened, not necessarily in Nijisanji, but like just in company life in general.
Well,
is like,
that's the thing though. Like if it has happened, we'll never know. They're under an NDA. The company's not going to tell you, right? They're just going to tell you that the streamers graduated, right? We see a lot of people graduating within the past few years in Hololive, Nijisanji, and others, much smaller corps, obviously. But like, we won't know the reasons.
Yeah.
They'll never tell us. So if somebody was underperforming, we won't know. I don't think I would want to know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like just kind of going it back into that in that original discussion. It's just like, if you are the underperformer, it's really going to be on you to pull yourself out, and that can happen. Yeah. Like we picked on Scarlet a lot in our stream, but Scarlet's like the golden child of someone who got hit by the biggest nerf possible and has clawed their way into being a superstar.
I think Scarlet is the best kind of like underdog tale.
Yeah, she is the best example. Her debut
was the roughest.
I think, Nijisanji debut we've seen.
Yeah.
Like, it was rough.
Nothing
and
was
she
working.
has come back to be a ridiculous superstar.
Yeah.
But like, I guarantee that like management did give her some moral support. But I think it's a little disingenuous to think that it was Nijisanji who pulled her out of the dust.
It was 100%
and more of herself.
Yeah.
Like she pulled herself out.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do.
And that's what the corp wants. That's that's, oh God, I got to pull up the questionnaire. I think that's why they asked that one particular question. Where was it? Positive and negative experiences. Right? They want to see how you got out of the negative experience. Right? Mm-hmm. Scarlet was able to get herself out of the negative experience, worked at it, did what needed to be done. And now I want to say she's one of the top ones for Nijisanji. Like, she's the most, at least for me, from what I see, she's the one that's like talked about quite a bit. Yeah. At least in my Twitter circle. That's who I see the most.
Well, I mean, like we said, she's kind of the underdog story.
Yeah.
She had the nerf of the bad Wi-Fi, and then she's turned it into, becoming one of the most super chatted channels on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she's
I don't know
there.
if you could get a better example.
Yeah. No, she definitely worked hard. Hey, Diana, you didn't miss much. Well,
there needs to be balance between corporate support and our own self-agency. I I think they try. Like I said, my impression of Nijisanji is that they do try. Like, I don't get the vibe that they're the tyrannical overseer or anything like that. I feel like they're generally pretty good. And especially from the anecdotes we have of like talents interacting with the CEO, even, it seems like, you know, they've got that nice, you know, go get them attitude.
Yeah.
But when you're in the pits of like content depression, because if you think you're not going to be there, you haven't been doing content for long enough. It's really only you that can pull yourself out. Like, moral support only goes so far. They will invest as much as is reasonable to them to help pull you out, but you know, they're not going to drop everything just because you happen to be doing the worst. That's just, at least that's how I see corporate structure.
No,
Maybe I'm just
you're
pessimistic.
right. No. I think you're absolutely right on that. Yeah. Also, real quick, I want to give a quick shout out. Hey guys, you know, we're doing this collab with Realist right now. His name's in the title of the stream, so make sure you guys give him a follow, like, all that fun jazz. So just want to toss that out there real quick before we continue. But yeah,
Look,
no,
we're just here.
Yeah, we're just here. And like Rayla said, you know, we're coming at it from like the most opposite end than most of you guys are, right? We got to balance you guys out and encourage you guys to think differently and open your minds to thinking of different ways, right? Everything we see could be the best of the best of the best. Might not be the case in the background, right? So we got to kind of like try to level out a lot of the audience.
Yeah.
Too young to realize is joining Corpo is a symbolic relationship that requires a lot of give and take. You resources, you owe them much more time and effort. Zatham, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that.
That's why I double my emotions. Okay, Zatham.
Jesus.
Oh gosh.
Somebody would have leaked it by now. No.
I think you underestimate the power of NDAs.
Yeah,
and like,
no. Like, there's okay. Small VTubers and small agencies will leak things all the time because literally they know the agency has no funds or resources to go after them.
Yeah, what is the agency gonna do to you? Like, being realistic. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, Nijisanji's not gonna mess around.
Yeah, they got the money, they got the lawyers, they got the resources, right? If you leak anything, chances are they're going to be able to like bring it right to you, and they'll find ways. They'll, like, corporations, you guys don't realize corporations have a lot of resources that they won't tell you, and they'll find out it's you. Is it really worth for somebody to completely lose their livelihood over? Because like, if you break an NDA, they can go after you for everything. You don't want to break those.
Yeah. So, and like, the thing is the other thing is, for better or worse, it also, like, if you become a whistleblower, it's not guaranteed that the community is going to side with you.
Yeah.
And we've seen that happen. Like, we've seen it happen in the VTuber space. We've seen it happen with other people where someone thinks that they're exposing something terrible, and then the company claps back.
Yeah. Thinking the company won't show receipts, and then the company shows receipts, and then it's like, yeah, we're done.
So it's a lot scary. Like, it's easy to say that people would come out and talk about it, but I guarantee that, like, you would just, like, it's really scary. It's just scary.
Yeah, like, and I understand where you guys are coming from, thinking that would happen, like, because we see it a lot of times on Twitter where, you know, people are whistleblowing with Blizzard, Twitter, Facebook, so on and so forth. And a lot of times companies like that won't really care. Well, they do, but they're not going to do a whole lot. But Nijisanji they really care about their brand. They're not going to let you whistleblow. And just like somebody just mentioned, you get blacklisted. Yeah, like, especially in content creation, if you're known as a whistleblower and you try to be an indie, why is any company going to try to sponsor you? Right? Because you guys don't know this. But when you like get a sponsorship and so on and so forth, there's an NDA you have to sign. And the NDA regards on like how much money you make, right? Your splits, your stats, and so on and so forth. You can't break that. So if they know that you're an NDA breaker or contract breaker, they're not just, you're basically blacklisted from content creation. You're relying on donations and subs, and a lot of the top streamers and VTubers, so on and so forth, a lot of their money comes from sponsorships, especially ones on YouTube that are dedicated to YouTube. Like
So-
AdSense brings you so far, but oh my god, sponsorships, they pay out like crazy. So yeah, no.
Yeah.
And NDAs are way too strong. Like that Bayonetta one. Yeah. The Bayonetta one. That took a 180 for her, and it looked really bad. So yeah.
Ooh, Sky Shards asks a good question. Have either of you wanted to apply to a corp? Not asking if you guys have, just if you've wondered if either of you have thought about it. Yeah, I've thought about it
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. I honestly, yeah.
Like, I think that there's a lot of good reasons to join a corp, especially one as big as like Hololive or Nijisanji.
Right. So what would be your reasons?
So my reasons would be, I would, in some ways, I think I would thrive under a very defined goal.
Mhm.
Like I'm kind of a one-track mind cat.
Right.
You set me on something, you know, I will figure out a way to make it happen.
Right.
It might be unorthodox, but it's going to happen. But like, and in that regard, like joining a corpo does have a lot of appeal. Like I know what I'm doing. I know what people have done,
Mm-hmm.
you know, especially like Nijisanji. There's very few people outside of us
Yeah.
that like know more about Nijisanji from like an observational period than I do and you do.
Yeah.
And like, so I think that I could thrive in that environment. I also recognize that it would be very different to what I'm doing, but I've always been, surprise, surprise, I am a numbers cat. I like when the number goes up.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Like, you know, I love when the number goes up. I like doing things to make the number go up.
Yeah.
That I have a very good mentality with that. I mean, that brings a whole slew of problems. Like, that's a good mentality to have for a corpo.
Yeah. If
your big thing is, I want to push the envelope. I want to make everyone's numbers bigger. That's exciting. That is a genuine excitement.
Makes sense.
But I also recognize that it would be extremely difficult. This is not like it, even if I was offered it tomorrow.
Right.
Like I would have to take quite a bit of time really thinking heavily about what that would like. What are my actual trade-offs here? Because I understand the implication of working with and for Nijisanji.
Right.
That is not a light decision by any means. Like that is a scary decision to make. But there are circumstances where I would say yes. And like I would go for that.
Right.
With the acknowledgement that yeah, I'd be burning everything that I've built up so far.
Yeah. For me, like I've put a lot of thought into joining or not joining, but like applying. And that would be the hardest thing for me. because I built up this channel. Like, and that's one thing that like a lot of people I don't think really consider is like, why did you get into content creation initially? Right? Is that still the same reasons when you're applying for Nijisanji? Like for me, when I started this, well, it eventually altered. But like this channel is literally to help VTubers grow, VTubers surpass me in numbers, so on and so forth. Like I've told you guys a million times. So if I join a corp, this channel would be effectively dead. I doubt they would let me keep it up and have a replacement. So it would be basically a dead channel. And would I still be able to do what I want to do in a court? Probably not. I probably wouldn't be able to talk about the things and topics I'm really interested in talking about, like content creation, like growing your streams, like becoming a successful VTuber that joins an agency, right? I know like they can talk a little bit about like joining an agency, but they get bonked if they talk a little bit too much. Right? True. I want to be able to tell you guys how to get into it. So my core values wouldn't line up. And if I did join an agency, I would have to be something that I left behind. Right? Which is a just chatting streamer that plays video games. I don't want to go back to that. I really don't want to go back to that. What I'm doing right now, I absolutely enjoy. So I can't go back to that. And like I'll be honest, and I know Niji will never hire me. I'll probably be blacklisted because of how much I talk about auditions and so on and so forth. But
me too.
Yeah. Like but like honestly, my main motivation behind it would to learn how it works so I could pass on the information. Realistically, that's the end of the day. That's the main motivation, to figure it out and pass on the knowledge. Like what I would I rather do instead of like working for the agency or applying to be a talent for the agency is kind of like, I know this will never happen. I know this would never happen, but I would like to be kind of like, if anything, if they need people to like have an idea or an understanding on how to like apply or join, they would send those people my way. Like I'll deal with the questions that your talent gets a gazillion times. Let them focus on what they do best. Send me the people that want to apply towards your agency, and let me knock out the most annoying questions that you see on your audition forms, and let me change people's minds and teach them on how to think properly when they do apply for auditions, so you're not wasting so much time on useless audition forms.
Oh, sorry. Someone just said something in chat that I think would be absolutely amazing. Imagine if they did EN VTA, right? Like their virtual talent agency, but you were one of the teachers. I could see that.
Dude, I would do it. I would totally do it.
Like that would be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I would do that.
Yeah, it's, I think our answers kind of go to show, like, just I feel like not very many people put in this level of thought when they think about applying to Niji. Like, it is the coolest opportunity you could ever have.
Yeah.
Or realistically have in like streaming as a VTuber. It's, you're going to be at the upper echelon, but there's a ton of stuff to think about with that. There's so much to think about. And once the excitement burns away and you really have a chance to, you know, what are you giving up? What are you trading? And also, guys, a lot of this comes from, you have to have made something for them to probably be interested in you in the first place.
Yeah.
So if you're just excited and not having any reservations, I would wonder what you've been doing.
Yeah. You have to have that pause and think, okay, do I really want to give all this up?
Yeah.
And like,
the reason why they're interested in you is because you have something to give up.
yeah, because you have to give something up. You really have to give it up. And I know this channel, I don't want to give up because I see the value of helping people.
Yeah.
I truly do. That's super cliche to say, but I do, right? To me, that's more important than fame and ooh voice and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
I think a lot of people that are applying don't have anything to give up, which is, you know, some people might be able to get in doing that, not having to give up
Imagine
anything.
being hired as Stop Son.
Oh my God.
I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I would not want to manage the current Niji talents. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Have you seen what they do?
Yeah, I don't think I would want to do that either.
That sounds terrible.
Like, could you? Okay. So every time I hear them talk about like stuffs on, I imagine somebody just losing their like noodle over stuff that's happening on streams. Like, oh my God, no, don't do that, for the love of God, stop, don't say anything, stop, and like furiously typing to them. It's like, no, stop it. Like, oh no, I would not. Like, that is guaranteed hair loss, I would imagine. Like, I imagine the people that they have to hire for staff is already bald, already have gray hair. Like, no, I would hate to do that. And then not only that, I think what it probably would have to happen, it's one guy or girl or whatever, having to manage like 3 to 5 at the same time. I don't think they get their one individual one. So, having to bounce through different streams all the time. No, I'm good.
Man, that sounds like something special.
Yeah, no, like, I see kind of like that Star Trek red alert thing going off in the background every time like a town does something they shouldn't, and like the computer's on fire or the desk is on fire. My imagination's way too vivid for that, but like, I see an inferno for that guy or girl or whoever's taking the job. Oh
yeah.
gosh. No, I'm good.
Oh gosh.
But my idea of being like kind of like a this is what you should do on your audition form representative, I'll do that. That's what I'm doing now. I'll continue to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of hours
Yes,
would be
indeed.
insane.
Seriously though. So much work.
Oh yeah. And then finding out the games that they would have to, be allowed to stream, music, copyright issues. Oh no. No. I deal with that enough as it is. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. You can handle that crap on your own.
Yeah, I'm good. Real quick, if you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. I do streams every Monday and Friday. So if you guys are interested in topics like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And notice how I do that, chat? I tell people to subscribe. You guys should do that too. It really does help you. Trust me.
I should do that more often.
You should do that more often. Promote your stuff. I don't. It really does help. Because people forget. They don't think about that kind of thing. It's like, oh, what was that person I was watching? And then they'll like go through their search history. And it's like, I don't remember. Just remind people. Trust me. Call to actions are a good thing to have. Thank you, Devin Nash, for teaching me.
True.
He's my senpai.
Oh, gosh.
The poor manager who watched off collab on Millie's channel. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. I can only imagine what was going through their mind. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was something else. That was something else.
Clicking the subscription button will actually unsubscribe. Okay, well, yeah, if that happens, don't click the button, please. Unless you want to, that's totally okay. But yeah, no, that poor manager dealing with Millie's, yeah, that must have been a nightmare.
I apologize if you can hear another cat in the background. My cats aren't leaving me alone.
Do they need a Fujitech link as well? Every
I
time
wish that I could get them to meow on command.
meow
That would
command,
be
but like have
hilarious.
their own mic, so like it does the effect of like bouncing.
Give them their own mic.
Yeah, own mic, own setup. Boom, done.
It's Habanero paradox. He doesn't like the new Roomba.
Oh god, I need a Roomba so badly.
Oh gosh.
If you guys got any questions, it doesn't have to be related to this particular topic, please feel free to ask as well. You got the two top people in the, well, education sphere.
I'm in a sphere.
Yeah, you're in a different sphere. I'm like the last one. The education.
I feel like we should have like a team name for when we do this. And someone said it earlier, and I can't get it out of my head.
What was it?
But we're the blacklisted bros.
I love it. It could be.
I mean, it's bad, but like, it's what came to mind because we're both like, there's no way.
No, there's no way we're ever going to get in if we applied. We're done for. I'm just thinking about that name and how out of context that could be taken.
Oh yeah, it would be terrible. It's a time bomb waiting to happen, but it's also really funny.
I'm down for the name. I'm down for the name. You don't have much knowledge about VTuber agencies, but what's the difference between Nijisanji and HoloLive? I think there's a lot of differences, actually.
That's a good question that we don't really have a good answer to.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of perceived differences, but it's kind of hard to figure out what goes on behind the scenes there.
Actually, kind of like related to what Sky kind of said, kind of like boneless versus bones. For like wings.
Yeah, they're kind of
it's kind of like that. Also boneless.
Yeah, that's actually a good analogy for it. It's like it's the same. They're both chicken. They're just prepared differently.
Yeah. I think Nijisanji is more. The problem is it's what we can only see visually. We don't know what's actually going on in the background. I'm hoping to see Niji's, like, I know there a lot of the newer talent have Twitch accounts. So I'm hoping to see them kind of like push the envelope and change things up and not have giant agencies just on one platform, but on multiple. Kind of doing that double dip thing that a lot of big streamers on Twitch does. But
yeah, if I had to like go on record as like what I think the differences are, it's like I would say Nijisanji is building a streaming empire, and HoloLive is a production company who hires streamers.
Yeah,
like that's kind of what I feel their difference is.
For me, I think Nijisanji is like what you said, building and expanding an empire, and I'm never going to get in HoloLive anyway, so this doesn't matter. HoloLive is kind of like holding on to their straws and trying to hold on to what they have. I don't see them changing up too much. Kind of going off.
I don't know.
A lot of the success.
Hollow Tempest has been a very different direction for them to go.
Yeah.
Because like Tempest is like the Nijisanji approach, but applied to HoloLive. Because like they are the most bro gamers I think I've ever seen. Like,
yeah. I think that would work better, not on YouTube though.
I don't know. It works pretty well on YouTube so far.
Yeah.
Like they're not Luxium. Like we can't. I think the problem is we definitely have a little bit of a bias towards that style of content because Luxium exists.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were just such a powerhouse.
Yeah.
But like Hollow Stars is pulling good numbers.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
really
they
are.
They are. They are.
And so it's.
But
I
that's
just
Hollow
think they're
Star.
late
It's
to the
not Hollow
party.
Live.
Is all. I mean,
It's the same company. I know, but
I would lump them under the same company,
yeah.
but I don't know.
Is there a different kind of streaming VTubers can do besides chatting and gaming? Yeah. There's so much streamers can
Yes.
do. You guys can literally build Gundams, you can make music, you can do puzzles, Lego. I've seen VTubers make Lego. Like there's so much. You guys could do cooking. You guys could like walk around IRL. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that video. Oh my god, I gotta get on that. I can't believe I forgot that. God. And the mount's sitting right beside me too. So yeah, there's a vast amount of what you guys could do. You guys could try to enter the educational sphere. I'll crush you, but you could try. But like there's so much you guys could do. It's just the possibilities are endless. The problem is, I think personally, is the reason why VTubers is going towards just chatting and gaming is because that's what literally everybody else is doing. And I feel like humans as a species is we kind of like cultivate ourselves to what we think is safe. And a lot of people think gaming and just chatting is safe. They're scared to experiment and try new things. But the people that aren't afraid to experiment and try new things tend to flourish more.
On some level, I agree with that, but on others, I do think that just chatting has its own sort of special appeal. Like,
Oh, they do.
there's
for
a
sure.
reason why it's so popular.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
like, we're also at the point with VTubing that there is a lot more stuff that people can do. It's just, it's not easy. That's really the only reason why you see so much gaming.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not easy. Right?
So,
and
like,
because it's not easy and doesn't come with quick rewards, that's why a lot of people stick with gaming and just chatting. Like just chatting, if you have a cool concept or idea and you go into just chatting and like implement it, you could be close to the top, especially if like people jump onto that and like it. But I don't know. I think gaming is always the safe bet, and that's why people run to it. Or they think it's the safe bet.
Because gaming, I think the real reason why so many people are drawn to gaming, and like, I'm not going to say I was immune to this either, but if you're gaming, you as the streamer are doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to chat and no one is chatting back at you,
you're at least doing something.
I'm talking to you, all you 0 to 5 viewer people. You feel really uncomfortable when you're just yelling into the void.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get stuck in doing things that keep you busy, but aren't actually that entertaining yet. I did not ask to be attacked today. I'm sorry. But
guys, like, I know some of you guys are joking, like, not to call you out and whatnot, but like, the thing is, if we go to Twitch, right, and I've done this on so many streams, but like, if you go to Twitch, and you guys do it right now, look at how many VTubers are like streaming to 0 to 5. Right?
Yeah. Like, there's kind of a reason why I did, like, for a lot of my streams last year until I like kind of got some good traction going. Up until that point, most of my streams were styled like presentations.
Yep.
And like, because again, that was something that would both keep me interested, and if someone just randomly tuned in, it's interesting to them.
Mm-hmm.
If I was just gaming, unless they're really interested in that game and they somehow found me on YouTube's live streaming, like they're not staying.
Okay. So some people bring up like the point, hey, 5 is good. 5, I'm not gonna say 5 is bad. 5 is good.
No,
but a lot of people don't get past that, right? And not everybody starts with 0. You guys don't have to start at 0. You know that, right? The thing is, you're gonna have to do stuff that the vast majority of Twitch doesn't do, which is start making content on other platforms, right? People jump to streaming immediately because that is the easiest thing to set up and do, and to get like some sort of fulfillment of doing something, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's the hot take for the night.
Okay, do it.
Being a streamer is the easiest way to be a hamster running on a wheel without actually getting anything done.
I agree.
And like, Daisuke, you do bring up the point of, you know, some people learn by doing. That is true.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of people, you are doing something that makes you feel like you're doing something. And you're not, like, that time would be massively better spent.
Yeah.
Learning it, like learning new skills and grow. And like, okay, Danny, you do bring up a good point. It does depend on what you want. Keep in mind that everything we say is filtered through the eyes of, we want this to be our full-time job.
Yeah.
And so if you're just doing this for fun, you can
this doesn't
completely
matter.
Ignore.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to worry about this.
Yeah. Whatever
But
we're saying, just ignore
wanting
it.
to, yeah, if you're wanting to do this as a job, like, there are so many things that you can do that are better than streaming.
Yeah.
Basically anything is better than streaming when you're just starting off. It's flabbergasting. Like, almost anything is better than streaming.
Yeah.
To get any sort of traction.
And that's the thing. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, and again, if you guys are doing this for a hobby or just for fun, whatever, like, just completely ignore what we're saying, because it does not apply to you. But for the people that actually want to do this for a job, you know, Sapphire, Rayless, and I, we've said if we had to start all over again, we would just not bother with streaming. We would actually start on YouTube, build up the community, then start streaming. But it's not just like Sapphire, Rayless, and I saying that. It's Asmongold, it's Ludwig, it's like a lot of these giant streamers that a lot of people look up to and idolize, saying that you got to do this as well, right? We made those mistakes. I made the mistake of being just like a Twitch streamer, and I wanted to do this as a job, and I was that hamster on the wheel. I really was that hamster on a wheel, spinning it too. And it was getting me nowhere. It literally was getting me absolutely nowhere. I'm like getting frustrated and angry. It's like, oh, I'm not making the money I should be making. I'm not getting the viewership I should be getting, so on and so forth, right? And I really didn't get off the wheel until I found Harris Heller and Devin Nash. And like, they had to, like, I rewatched their videos, I swear to God, like 50 times, right? And then it triggered in my head, okay, what I'm doing ain't working. And that's when I started experimenting with like YouTube, where it's like, okay, if I make, and I started off as the cringy flesh tuber trying to be like Harris Heller. I was the Walmart Harris Heller in the discount section. Thank God those videos are hidden. But I started off with that. I'm like, okay, well, now I'm getting traction, getting people to my streams. Oh, cool, VTubing, da-da-da-da, right? And I've told the story many times how I got into VTubing, but like, that's where I blew up. That's where things actually happen, is on YouTube, making content. That's where the audience came from. It wasn't me just endlessly streaming 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 4 to 5 times a week. It doesn't work. For some people, I will say there are the few that are always the exception to the rule. There's always exceptions, but for the mass majority, there's a reason why 99% of Twitch is underneath 5 viewers.
Yeah. And Max Lou brings up a good point. You know, now when I Twitch stream, I Twitch stream just to generate content for YouTube. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Oh yeah. Like, for sure.
If you're streaming to make content to post on YouTube,
yeah,
great, wonderful,
absolutely.
But it's a little concerning that if you have 5 viewers, you are in the top percentage.
Yeah, you're in the top 1%.
Like, that's...
Is it actually top 1%? I thought it was like 10
I
now.
I
Because
think
like
it might be like 10 viewers might be like the top 1%. I don't remember the actual percent. It's been a while
yeah.
since I've looked. But like, you know what's actually kind of funny? This is also true about YouTube, just to a lesser degree, because usually people do YouTube to post content on YouTube, but there's absolutely just the YouTube streamers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you with 11,000 viewers or 11,000 subs is in like the top 2,500 in your country.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
guys, that's videos are awesome.
Top 3% with
Just-
15 average viewers. Okay.
And also, like, the thing about a video is a failed video, it's you can fail so much faster with content than you can with streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think failing more and more and more and more, like, you learn what works better and better and better. And like, you're never gonna stop failing.
Yep.
But I feel like streaming, especially I think the real danger with streaming is when you do have a small but dedicated community.
Yep.
And when I say small, I'm talking like the 5 people who will show up to literally every stream you ever do.
Yep.
Like, because I saw Paradox talking about that. I'm keeping my eye on you. But you know, you have those couple people that show up every time.
Yep.
And you feel disappointed that you're going to let those 5 people down.
Yeah.
If you stop streaming, even though it's what you should do if you want to grow.
Well,
Like,
that's the thing. Like, I had to give up my 18 viewer average to get, I don't know how many viewers I have right now. I've like literally zero clue.
I don't know if you want me to say it, but
I'm hoping no more than 30. I don't
Yeah,
want to like really screw up my brain, but like I had to give up those 18 average viewers to get more, to get higher. Like honestly.
Yeah, I went through the same thing. Also, hi Zatham. But I went the same, like when I first swapped to lore, I was, you know, I was still at 1,000 subscribers back then.
Right.
And a good, 20 to 30% of the community at the time had told me like they don't want me to swap away from education. And
Right.
like, yeah, when you're small, you feel the weight of every single person.
Mm-hmm. You do.
But like, if I hadn't swapped, there's no way on earth I'd be anywhere close to where I am.
Yeah, I think you're close to what, 50K now? Like pushing it?
I don't know, somewhere around there.
Ridiculous.
I don't pay attention to the number anymore.
Yeah, 48.4K.
But like,
so if you didn't give up education, you wouldn't be at 48.4. Nearly 50K.
I'd be at like 3,000 maybe.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is it really does feel unfortunate
Mm-hmm.
that like you can get so caught up in what's actually working here.
Yeah.
Paradox, I'm a number cat. I just don't look at the sub count because I feel like sub count doesn't mean anything. But that's just me. But like, it's so easy to get caught up in that small community that you do have without recognizing that, like, yeah, you've built up a nice little thing,
Mm-hmm.
but there's so many people's potential that is just so much higher.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate reality is like, you're going to alienate people no matter what you do.
Yes.
And this, like, you just gotta go with what's going to give you the numbers you want. If you're fine to stay down and like you're doing this as a hobby,
Mhm.
and you just want the same batch of like 5 people to just basically hang out with you on stream.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing that. I'm never going to diss that. If that's what you're looking for, that's fine.
Mhm.
That's just not what I'm looking for. Like, I love my regulars, but I also know that like if I feel like I need to change my content down the road, especially since I've done one gigantic shift already, like I'm not I'm it could happen again. You never know,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, it totally could.
the sad reality is that like with content, you have to figure out what the best thing that works for both you and the numbers are, and that's not always going to, you know, it's not always going to match up with everyone you want to please. I've lost longtime viewers,
Oh yeah.
and like it sucks to see them go, but they just didn't like the content anymore,
Well,
and that's, you know.
like for me, and I'm coming from, experience just as like you are as well. Like when I was a Twitch streamer playing Rainbow Six Siege, Escape from Tarkov, so on and so forth, I knew my viewers' kids' names. I knew their dogs' names. I knew what kind of dogs they had. We had really close relationships. Like we would talk about meeting up at TwitchCon, hanging out together, going for dinners and everything. Like we were close. But I wanted this as a full-time job. Right? I had to sacrifice
Yeah.
friendships to get where I am now at my 30 consistent viewers that I have currently. Um, so another thing I think too, and again, this does not apply to the people that do this just casually. If you do this for a job or want this as a job, you need to think about it this way. Because it took me a long time to realize this. I feel you learn more from a failed YouTube video than you do from a live stream.
Yeah.
Like a failed YouTube
I
video,
agree with that.
you can figure out what happened, where the drop off was, why nobody was viewing it, if you're like really willing to figure out like YouTube itself. Where on Twitch, and I know this mentality because it was my mentality. It was like, oh well, I only had X amount of viewers that day. Yeah, tomorrow will be fine. And then I get a massive raid from, XYZ streamer. I get a huge confidence boost. But I really didn't learn anything from that. I just kept doing what I was doing, which was Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
So it didn't teach me anything. Other than the one thing I will say, like live streaming on Twitch did, was teach me how to talk a lot. So when I came to YouTube, my voice wasn't like broken.
Yeah, like there's definitely things that you can learn by just streaming. And I have a friend who breaks every rule that we've just talked about here. She only streams and she
Right.
still manages to grow. But like that is so much the exception to the rule. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But like you can learn stuff by just streaming. The real thing is just you have to be careful about getting comfortable
Yes.
with streaming.
Yes.
Because again, you love your viewers and your viewers love you. But like, man, can that be as much of a negative to you overall as it is a positive? Because your viewers will tell you they love what you're doing.
Oh yeah. If you do a poll, they're going to tell you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why polls are dangerous.
This is the funniest thing, but like you can't trust your viewers a lot of the time to tell you what's wrong or
Mhm.
what needs to change. You'll occasionally get a couple who will try and keep it real, but the problem is they usually get drowned out by the positivity, which it sounds so weird because you want positivity as a content creator. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like it does warp your sense of like it warps how you view what you're doing. And if you're not taking risks and trying new things and getting that failure in, like you have to, those are kind of like your reality checks, honestly, because you do something you think is cool. Because like a video, your community can't carry a video on YouTube.
No.
It just can't. Like it's
No.
going to survive or fail based off of its own merits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, that's kind of why I love videos is I'll do something I think is really cool. And then YouTube's like, this is garbage. I'm like, okay,
Exactly.
maybe I need to reevaluate why I did this.
But at least YouTube gives you some sort of feedback where Twitch doesn't.
It's true.
At its
YouTube's
current
like,
time.
people clicked off this video in the first 10 seconds. And it's like,
Yeah,
what did I do with the first 10 seconds that pissed people off?
but you can at least look at it. and figure out,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
that's what I did in 10 seconds. Now I know not to do that ever again. Twitch, they kind of give you some analytics nowadays if you're a little bit larger in the follower count, but it's still
Yeah.
very much hit and miss.
The other thing that's really nice about YouTube, and this is true even on streams, is you can see what you did right,
Yes.
which I feel like is harder to see on Twitch. Because like,
Yes.
I'm just going to use a personal example here. It's no longer the best, like the biggest video I've ever made, but it used to be.
Mhm.
Is that like the Vado 2 mini video that I made? I had mentioned it in my worst video I've ever made,
Yes.
which was like, it was like a 30-minute, pretty poorly made guide to VTubing.
Mhm.
And I talked about Vado 2 for like 30 seconds in the whole video.
Right.
And out of that entire terrible video, there was this one tiny little spike of interest about that very particular topic. And so I'm like, okay, what if I just made a video about the one thing I did right in a massive video that took me like 100 hours to make, probably.
Right.
And so I made it about the 30-second thing that people actually cared about. And it was my best video for a year, basically.
Right.
And it's only because I made something that was my objectively worst thing I've ever made by YouTube standards.
Mhm.
And I made my best thing from my worst thing.
Yes. And yeah, and it gave you the ability to see that.
Yeah. So that's just, but you have to be able to take that risk really often and do things that it's going to crush your ego's going to be inflated and deflated constantly.
Mhm.
Because you'll make something like, this is a banger stream. Then you'll do something and it's like, oh, this was terrible. But at least YouTube gives you the stats to be like, yeah, this was a bad idea. You're like, okay,
And
maybe we don't do that again.
and chat again, we failed and on a lot of things, so we're trying to pass the lessons on to you, so you don't have to, right? Fail at other things, just don't fail at the things we're telling you, because we already made that mistake. Avoid it.
Yeah.
Also, Zatham, thank you for the 5. And yes,
Also,
at least
if you guys aren't making short videos, I'm gonna stab some people.
Shorts are I don't know if you get those emails as well, Rayless, but YouTube has their last 4 or 5 emails have been talking about shorts. Make shorts, make shorts, make shorts. YouTube, if they're emailing you telling you to make shorts, guys, make shorts. Like, there's a reason why they're talking about it. They are pushing the hell out of shorts right now.
Streaming is a different skill set than making videos. Videos you can script/edit. Talking live is a separate skill. That is true. That is absolutely true, Max Lou.
Also, thank you for the 5, and a fellow Canadian.
Also
thank you. I love to see fellow Canadians.
I think that is a true statement, but I also think you don't get to focus on streaming until you've done the work to get the audience, which unfortunately, now this isn't always true, but for most people, you don't grow through streams.
Yeah, for the vast majority, we see that.
You grow through scripted and edited content or skits or, whatever you happen to be doing.
Right.
So they are different skills. There's a little bit of crossover. That's true.
Yeah.
But the way I view streaming is that streaming is the reward for doing all these other stuff that you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because streaming is, in my, opinion, the easy part.
Yeah.
Of content creation.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah.
Like, and if you've built up the audience, then you can do more things with streams than most other people. But for everyone who's stuck in low viewer hell, you don't get to just be a streamer and grow. That's
Yeah.
not really the reality of the content world we live in.
Yeah.
You have to do videos and edited content. And honestly, you would think like you might just blow up through videos and you might find out that you really like doing that. Or you could literally just use that to be a vehicle to feed people into your Twitch stream.
Mhm.
There's not really a wrong answer there. But you do have to do videos and shorts. I don't really think there's a world where that isn't true now.
Yeah.
You'll always find an exception, but that's the
The
rule.
the only time I see exceptions, or the exceptions I do see, I should say, are people. So the exceptions I see on Twitch is mostly because people are clipping their content and sharing it for them. That's what I see most of the exceptions. Now, streaming is a different skill set than making videos. I agree and disagree. Streaming and or YouTube, one, teaches you how to like warm up your vocals and get used to talking for a long period of time, or could, if you have an audience you're talking to. But a lot of it, I believe, is still interchangeable, right? I think you're going to have more benefits if you start off as a YouTuber going to streaming, because one, you're used to talking to yourself, thinking up of topics, and catching your own mistakes when you do speak. Like, so many times when I'm editing a video, I caught myself saying ahs like way too much. I know I do it still, but oh my god, it was way worse.
My big word is I say actually far too often.
Yeah. Yeah. So you train yourself to like get that out of your vocabulary, right?
Yeah. Now I do want to say that, Maxwell, you do have a point that there is some separate level of skills, and you do have to level them up both separately, but there's still just so much crossover between them.
There is.
I honestly feel like there's kind of a reason why the big YouTubers is like, even though they might not be the best streamers the first time they stream, they're never really bad.
Yeah.
Like, at worst, they'll be a little socially awkward and not know what to talk about. But give them, even just a week or two, they're already adapting to the new environment because they've got such a backlog of, making videos. They can apply a lot of those same skills to streaming. I mean, that's what I did when I started off.
Yeah.
I had like a script of talking points when I started, like really getting into streaming. I had a big list of stuff to talk about. And so like, I don't have to do that these days, but in the beginning, like, because I'd written out so many more videos at that point, I could have my list of talking points as if it was a video. It was just extended into 2 hours instead.
Exactly. From both of us, good luck.
There'd be a lot of swearing in mine.
Mine too. Oh my god, the amount of swearing that would be in my blooper reel would just be nonstop beeping. I swear to god. A lot of my videos, I've had to refill my intro, oh god, 10 times. And the more often I gotta refilm it, the more swearing happens. Like, oh no. Oh,
for
god.
me, since I do primarily like shorts content, a lot of my stuff is time gated, so I'm not saying stuff fast enough or like pacing it right.
Okay.
So if there's a tricky sentence I have to say, oh my gosh, I can get so frustrated because I'm like, why did I write this sentence?
Yeah.
Like, why did I write something that I have difficulty speaking? And so I'll do a bunch of takes that just be like, you'll just yell into the microphone because I'm frustrated.
See, for me, I don't script my YouTube videos. Like, I don't script them at all. I have a general sense of what I want to talk about,
Really?
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
script
that's
any
so
of it.
interesting. I
Yeah.
am 1000% scripted.
Oh yeah, I can't do
There
that.
is not a word that comes out of my mouth that I have not written down.
Yeah. No, I can't do that. No, no. I have to. I have to. Like I don't know. I'm weird like that. Like there's gonna be so if I ever do a blooper video, you guys will see like I'll approach a line, but I'll say it 4 different ways, 5 different ways. So
I'm
yeah,
reading a script right now.
probably.
I'm not making a video right now. I'm on stream. Okay.
Uh,
That'd be one hell of a script though if I could predict all this.
right. So Kenneth, yeah, mine would be Luna personally would be my favorite one.
Yeah, Aluna is also my favorite. That's an easy choice.
Yeah. I connected with them way more.
I just like how different they are individually.
Yeah, yeah. They're not
Like
they're not the same. Everybody else it feels like it's the same.
I don't think I don't feel like they're all the same. It's more just
Very similar at least. That's me my
yeah.
personal thoughts. They're like other groups they're similar to each other. This like Luna is I don't know, they just feel different.
Yeah, they do. I will say I'm warming up to XOA though. I've been able to watch a little bit more of them recently,
Oh, that's good. That's good.
which is good. Believe it or not, I just don't have as much time to watch all of them as I want.
And yes, Vesa. Everybody here is paid actors. Everybody here has a script. That's how it's going.
Man, I wish I had the money to pay that many actors. Are you kidding me?
Right? That'd be so nice.
Yeah, there's not really a right or a wrong way of doing that, by the way, like scripted or unscripted. It's really just tailored to like how you work. For me, my whole concept behind videos is like I want to convey a concept in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of words.
Right.
So if it's a 10-minute video, it's because I felt that every second of that 10-minute video was information you needed to hear.
Yeah.
That's also why, because we've done a lot of videos that are on similar topics, right?
Oh yeah, we
Like,
YouTube Studio for one.
Yeah. Because like I think the best example is so your Discord video is like 4.5 minutes, I think, which is not long, by the way. That you don't drag it out like a lot of other people do, where it's like a 20-minute ordeal. Oh gosh,
I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember that video.
it was one of your first ones that like actually took off.
Really? Okay.
But like
I gotta go look.
my version of that video is 1 minute because I was just like, I can't. It was, it video starts, boom, 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 super easy, done. Like, I was so close to making it under a minute, anyways. That was the only video I was like, I think I can make this a little shorter.
see, okay. That was one of my reasons to start this VTubing channel, or this education channel, I should say, because like the educational videos that were out, like tutorials that were out, were 10 to 15 minutes long. I'm like, there's no reason for these videos to be 10 to 15 minutes long. I can do it in 5. And sure enough, I did. Like,
that was my
way
reason
shorter.
too.
Way shorter.
Oh my gosh.
It drove me crazy. Like, I know at the 10-minute mark, they get paid more. But when there's a lot of dead space, ums and ahs and everything else, I go insane. And I had so many people commenting at that time, like, thank you so much for just telling me what you needed to tell me, instead of like adding on a story.
Number one comment I get for that 1 minute video is, this is the best straight and short to the point video I've seen. Yeah. And I'm like, my job here is done.
Yeah.
Because like that brings up a good point, that like longer tutorial videos do have their place, right? But like, if you're just trying to convey a simple concept, oh my God, please shut up and just tell me what I want to know. It's a tutorial. Okay, this is my opinion of tutorial videos. I know why I made it. I know why you're here. Let's not bore you with a life story about why this program is awesome. You know why it's awesome, or else you wouldn't be looking up how to use it.
Yeah.
Like, let's just cut out all the crap and get to the point.
So somebody just asked a good question. What's our favorite videos from each other?
That's a good question.
Which video was it of yours that started our competition against each other? I'm trying to remember. I want to say that's
I know
my
which
favorite
one, and I know which one pissed you off the most.
Yeah, which one was that?
That was the VTuber mini one.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad that. Okay. Yeah. That's exactly the one I was thinking of. Because that's my favorite video of his. Right there.
My one that. Okay. You know, it's funny you guys asked that question, but it's more like, which of each other's videos are we most annoyed at that we beat the other one to?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I beat him to VTuber mini. You beat me to VTubing on mobile.
Yes.
And I was pissed about that.
Yes. See, but I believe, if I'm remembering it right, VideoTube, you were in my chat when somebody mentioned it and you made a video of it right away. Was it VideoTube or was it something else?
Well, so here's the thing is, so that I was in your chat and you mentioning it definitely like lit a fire under me.
Yeah.
But that was the week after. Cause so like that whole story I gave about like my worst video ever, I'd mentioned VideoTube in that and I'd seen that spike. And so it was already on my mind. I was like, I need to make a video about this.
Yeah.
And then you said something. And like back then I really only viewed you as my competition. And I was like, okay, I have to make this video tonight.
Yeah.
And I did. I stopped watching your stream immediately. And because like I'd already basically written the video in the 30-minute video. It's not like I was doing a lot of extra work. I was basically just taking that piece out of the 30-minute video and making it nicer. So because I heard you say it, I'm like, no, this is mine. And so I made that video that night. And then, yeah. But then it was just a couple weeks later, I saw your mobile VTubing come out when I was like halfway done with mine. And I was like, oh, gosh, dang it. Because I released mine later that week. Because I'm like, it's already almost done. I can't not finish it.
Yeah, that's mine. I own that.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Our first introductions to each other were, well, okay, so
we were enemies. We're very much friends now. we were definitely rivals.
Enemies, like we say enemies because it's funny, but like at least I think we both felt this way. We were never actually like pissed off at the other person. We were annoyed that we weren't first.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's how you, because like Sapphire beat me on something that you guys conspired against me on.
Oh yes,
but
yeah, you know, absolutely, we conspired on that one.
It's always you're annoyed that you weren't first, or at least in our cases, because like when you think you have a good idea, chances are it's usually a good idea.
Yes,
and like if someone beats you to the punch, you feel really annoyed.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, and what you guys don't realize is, if you're not first, especially if it's a brand new niche that doesn't have a lot in it already, if you're not first, you're second or third or fourth, your video's not going to get as many views as the person in first place. Yeah. Like, it's not going to happen. So
I mean, my whole channel was because I wasn't first on the scene to VTube Studio, but I timed my video for its release date, and I bugged the hell out of the developer and got them to retweet it on the release date. So my tutorial was the video that was being promoted by the dev,
right,
inadvertently by them, on the release date, and then I made it my life's goal to just take that. Like VTube Studio was mine. No one competed with me in that
I
until I
believe
stopped
you're
making
still
videos on it.
ranking number 1 for that one.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't quality trump being first though? The reality of the answer is no. Like, unless the quality is at such a higher level.
yeah,
The problem is first mover advantage
yeah,
is so utterly ridiculous.
absolutely.
Like guys, the fact that I've even seen this. I technically wasn't the first in the lore niche. There was another channel who did it first, and he got a ton of exposure just because he was first. And like I've since taken it over because I have done way more of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But like fighting to take that over, if like versus the free press I would have gotten from just doing things first, is ridiculous. And yes, quality will eventually win in the end.
Yeah, but it's so far down the road that the video becomes irrelevant and out of date anyway.
Yeah. The problem is you have to have the problem with going the quality route, which is it's not really a problem, it's just something you have to be prepared for, is if you are focusing heavily on quality, that's not bad to do.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want to get that out of the way. But the problem is you have to have such a high level of mental fortitude to know that this is something that is good and eventually it will find its audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like sometimes that takes literally 7 to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because like my biggest video is a video about Shy Lily. It was dead in the water for 7 months. And then out of nowhere, it's just like, hey, why don't we just give you 200,000 views in a day?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. But like, if that's your whole mentality of doing quality first, there's actually a great quote by, he was the old editor for Logan Paul, Harris Hiller, or wait,
who are you talking about?
what's his name? Oh gosh, I'm mixing up his name with Harris Heller. Hillier Smith. There we go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing editor, and the way he describes videos is tides of an ocean. You can either be constant quality and like quick to making a splash, and as long as you never stop, you'll keep on making waves on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you like stop or slow down, you fade from memory entirely. Or you can be a giant tsunami that is going to go well past the beach ever could, but you have to be able to do that again.
Yeah.
And I think that's the real problem with starting off with quality is, first of all, you don't know what quality is. I still don't know what quality is.
Yeah, I was about to say that because like quality, what Vess's level of quality might be way different than yours or mine, or even Diana's or Tebble or Sky. Like quality to everybody is like different.
Yeah. And like it also depends on like what type of content you make.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna talk about False ID because here's a great example. False ID's edits are the simplest things in existence.
Mm-hmm.
His content is so fast and easy to make.
Yeah.
Because of how he's set up. Like he's put a lot of effort into making his setup really good so he can do this. I don't want to discredit the work he's put in, but like his editing style is next to nothing.
Yeah. Well,
like it's literally just jump cuts. There's not even like L cuts or there's nothing. It's just jump cuts.
And a lot of,
but that works for his style.
A lot of his filming now though is live on Twitch.
Yeah, he also does it live on Twitch. Like
it's literally the two birds with one stone. And that's kind of what we were talking about like an hour ago. we've been live for a while. Holy crap.
Yeah, we have.
But like, yeah, he reuses his content for YouTube. And
Yeah.
that's why he's doing jump cuts, not J cuts and L cuts, because he can't.
Yeah. But like if you compare that to someone who does video essays, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't just do jump cuts. They can't do that type. They exist off of quality. Like a video essay lives or dies by how good it is. Like the editing, the seamless transitions, everything about that video has to be top tier to survive.
Yes.
And like some people do put out lower quality like video essays. Like I'm going to use the recently cancer depressed Nusagi, right? Like his weren't bad by any means, but they're definitely not like the hour-long video essays of YouTube. They're like the 15-minute like mini video essays.
Yeah.
And he could get away with a lot lower quality because he was doing them so often, right?
I think there's another big thing too that I don't know if you'll agree with or not, but quality will matter or not matter if it's time sensitive content or not, right? False's content for most part is very time sensitive. If False waits too long, that video is now completely useless.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the quality, like, and again, not taking away from him or anything, but like that's why the quality can be lower versus something like, I don't know, a squirrel doing a puzzle that what's his face made.
Right.
So
that's just the problem with the quality versus quantity.
Yeah.
Discussion is because there's too many facets to it that
there's a lot of different facets to it. I'm trying to look at his old content, and it looks like his older content is a lot more heavily edited. So I also think because his older content is way more edited. But I also think because he's at a size that he is now, that he can also sacrifice a lot more quality and just pump out the quantity.
Yeah, I would like, and again, his videos look nice.
They do,
because he's been able to put in a lot of effort to make like his setup easy to edit in.
Yeah,
like that's what he's built his whole thing around, which is a great model. But you do get to make different choices based off of your size. And unfortunately, when you're smaller, you kind of have to do both.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're competing with literally every other small person out there who's trying to do, at least if you're going for like a common niche, then like for gaming content, I don't think there's really any place for people to make gaming content that isn't quality or different.
Yeah.
These days. Cause like there's just it's gross. There's so much. Like thousands upon thousands and thousands of videos that are all like the similar highlight kind of meme edit style, which, you know, you enjoy if you already like the creator. But if you're the creator trying to find new people, got to make something that's good enough to get people to care about you.
Yeah.
Which again comes down to you're either the first or you're the best.
Exactly.
So
that is a very complicated answer.
You can go from being first into being best. That's always a thing you can do.
Absolutely.
But like, yeah, it's a very loaded question that is
with a very loaded answer.
It's super specific to the niche you're in too.
Yeah. Certain niches can do it, other niches can't. So like, it's a lot of experimentation for you guys. It really is.
Even in my niche, my biggest thing isn't actually the quality of the video, which is something I do pride myself on. But it's the depth of the knowledge that people find out from that. It's the things that they didn't already know. Yeah. So for me, it's like they don't necessarily care that it took me a half hour to make a 2-second edit look really nice. They care that what that happened in that 2 seconds is something they didn't know.
Yeah.
And there's a real argument to be made for, like, you know, would they have cared about the edit if the information wasn't also new, right? Like, so is there, there's just, there's so many factors. It's such a hard question to answer.
It's like I'm talking to myself. I love it. It's so nice.
But the best way you can find out is experiment with both.
Yeah, you have to.
And don't just do 1, 2, or 3 video. Not that kind of experiment. That kind of experiment doesn't do anything.
No.
You got to give it like 10 videos of each
Yeah.
type of a thing. Because anyone can make a one video that does amazing and then never be able to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think that's most creators' primal fear is when something pops off that they can't do it again.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So
I know that's something that's on my mind when I see like a video take off. It's like, okay, can I replicate it? Or like, or is it in the realm of replication?
Yeah.
Right. So I might not be able to like I know some of my tutorials absolutely took off. Like I got 3 or 4 of them that are at over 100K.
But you also have like 30 that are under 1,000.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Like, I'm the same way, you know. Even videos that I think are going to be awesome, they're like, and it's a 10 out of 10 worst video you ever made. It's like, okay, well,
like one of my top 3 videos is a video I put almost no effort into. Like,
yeah.
Like I was, what state of mind was I in? I think I was just in a no care, probably because of you, more than likely because you beat me to something. And I'm like,
that's what I do.
Just do it, get it done, and put it up, and boom, done.
I encourage people through spite.
So,
oh gosh,
yeah. I hope you guys are learning from this. Again, all of the mistakes we've made, so you guys don't have to.
Content creation's a big old bunch of, and also
have a good night.
You know,
Danny.
always.
Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by, Danny. But also keep in mind any of our experience shouldn't ever be seen as the end all be all. A lot of it actually comes from a lot of bigger creators we've watched.
Yeah,
and even people we look up to, like Harris Heller and Sam Woodall, they go they question themselves constantly.
Oh yeah,
like
I do it. The VTuber Senpai 2 years ago, I would smack across the head. I really would.
Oh, I would smack myself in November across the head.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, like because the knowledge that you gain, it changes your way of thinking so often. So, but that's good. You need that. You have to have that. If you're not growing and changing your mindset, you're doing something wrong. You really are.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I think I got to call it there.
I'm just getting fired up. I don't know.
I am getting hungry. Did not expect this stream to go for almost, what is this, 3 hours now?
Look.
3 hours and 30 minutes.
I mean, no, it's only 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's not 3 hours. Don't go lying to me.
It's saying 3 hours and 30 minutes on my thing.
I'd be a hell of a lot more tired if it was an hour later. How dare you?
Wait, why is it saying out of... Oh, no, you're right. It's saying 244 out of 334. What the hell?
That's kind of weird.
Okay, I'm going to, like, snip this and send it to you. Like, and I'll actually share in my mod chat. It's weird. Wait, can I actually do this? I'll have to print screen it. It's hella odd. Print screen. There we go. It's not Canadian math. We got good math here. I smart. Don't give me that.
I just realized I never collabed with people until like a couple months ago, and now 4 or 3 out of my last 5 streams have been with other people.
Yeah, I was somebody that didn't do collabs at all, and now Yeah. Now I've done a lot.
There's your hidden lore on VTuber Senpai and Raylas, where if you think you're antisocial, I literally refuse to collaborate with anyone for like 2 years. Just straight up no.
Actually, I think you were my first collab before my Hot One stream. I remember that absolutely angers Thorn Scale. Because he wanted to be my first collab. Hey, Thorn. But yeah. Yeah.
I remember that too.
And
'Cause
that
we
was
were
just back
talking
in
about
October.
shorts.
Yeah.
Look, sometimes it just works out.
It does. It does.
That's half the fun.
It really is.
And especially if we get to make Thorn Scale never live it down, that's just an added bonus on the top.
It really is.
All right. Well,
give me a second.
I'm sure I could keep you distracted from ending the stream for at least another hour.
Oh, easily, for sure. I'm gonna try to set up a cross-platform raid. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm sure somebody in our community is like live right now that isn't like large or smaller. Oh God, there's like nobody streaming right now.
There's such a good question in chat.
Okay, what? So okay, good. We'll do the last question. What is it?
Okay, final question.
Final question.
What is the worst moments you would say you've had in your career?
Oh God, that's a loaded one.
Mine's easy.
Okay, go for it.
When I went from 2,000 subs to 20,000 subs in a month.
Okay, why?
So the growth was awesome.
Right.
But me being the person that I am, and a lot of people reached out to me when I was having that initial blow up.
Mm-hmm.
I am the type of person who always assumes people have ulterior motives. It's not like a great character trait of mine, but it's a character trait of mine.
Okay.
And when I'm feeling that, because like I want you guys to keep in mind, there was literally a day where I was getting like my average before all this happened was like 1,000 views in a day was like a great day. Like, oh baby, that was a good day. And then I hit a point where I hit 200,000.
Right.
Like it was only one day, but like I was literally doing 200 times what I had been doing 3 weeks prior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I, understandably, a lot of people reached out to me. Some people I actually wanted to work with reached out to me. And I let my paranoia push some of those people away who probably didn't actually mean anything bad by it, but I assumed they did because I was blowing up at the time.
Right.
And like, I had always assumed I would understand what it meant to have a lot more pressure on you from views and things like that. Like when all of a sudden you succeed past your entire last year in a day, like that's...
I can see that.
It's a little... I wasn't ready for it, to say the least. And like, I'm very happy that I went through it now, but like, so vividly, the day after I hit 200,000, it went back down to 4,000. And I didn't know what I did wrong. Or at least I felt like I didn't know what I did wrong. And that's where like my paranoia really punched me in the gut. Because like, that was going from the highest high to a lowest low within like a 12-hour time period. That messed me up for like a month.
Honestly, that makes sense. It really does.
I've gone through it one more time since then, but that first drop, oh baby, there's nothing quite as chilling as that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So for me, I think my answer is going to change like as time goes on because things happen over time. And your mind changes. But right now, I want to say after I hit 10K subs. Honestly, I think when I hit 10K was probably the worst because then I was like, and I truly thought this, now what? because
dude, that's the same feeling though.
yeah,
It's because you're like you've
I hit my goal.
you hit a goal, and now you have no idea what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. It's like, okay, now what do I work towards? 1 million, 100K? Do I work towards numbers? Do I work towards like, because like honestly, like I had a goal of helping like 100 people. And I greatly exceeded that under than 1,000 subscribers. But as soon as I hit the 10K mark, it's like, okay, I hit that achievement. The Xbox pop-up came up saying achievement unlocked. Where do I go from here? Right? Do I want to make more crazy outlandish videos, or do I like I haven't really talked about this, but I even thought about just closing shop. I really have. I'm like, okay, that was fun.
It's understandable.
Thanks for the fish. But
It's,
you know, I shook my head and woke myself up and was like, no, 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 no. We're not doing that. No. But like it crossed my mind. It really did.
it's just kind of crazy what like those experiences, because it's such a fleeting feeling, by the way. Like, we're talking about some very, sort of dark thoughts we've had with like content creation. Like I was paranoid. You thought about quitting.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where like I actually genuinely lost probably a potential friend over my paranoia. Right? Because like I really just did not trust them whatsoever.
Yeah.
But like, and you considering quitting, like, these are very dark things, but they're also a very fleeting feeling.
Yeah.
And just taking a week to not do anything all of a sudden puts things back into perspective. At least it did for me.
No,
like it took me like a month, but
no, it really like, like for me, I eventually came up with, with a few more goals, but like I had to come to the realization that like the journey's not over. It's just begun. And
yeah,
I'm glad that I came to that realization, because yeah, there's still a lot more left in me. There's a lot more for me to do, and there's a lot more for me to still achieve, and honestly, way more people for me to help out. So that's where I am. So
yeah. I guess the biggest takeaway from that is just like anything that the best emotion you'll feel while content creation, the reverse of that is going to hit you at some point.
it will. It really will.
And like, Mista actually had a really deep stream about this, which is just a great way to end the Nijisanji stream. He talked about, if anyone who's done content creation doesn't tell you they're depressed a lot of the time, they're lying.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because like it's it can hit you in ways that you weren't expecting.
Yeah. Oh, can it ever? But yeah, chat, we're going to end it there. We're going to do a cross-platform raid because, YouTube can't really raid people unless I'm friends with them. Unless you're going to go live, which I don't think you will.
This time of night? No.
So what we're going to do is we're going to raid Tension Necroprancer. They are a PNG tuber playing Minecraft right now. They're actually really, really fun to watch. They're very entertaining. They actually talk to their chat, all that fun jazz. So make sure you go say hi. Go give them, a hello, a subscribe, free Twitch Prime if you got one. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button here. Go check out Rayless. His @ is in the stream title. Go check him out as well. Go give him a follow. Give him some love. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.